our service, I put some song sheets sort of scattered about the room. It's hard to guess where people are going to put themselves. So if you don't see one in your row, look behind you or in front of you. There's one in the front row. I was anticipating Juliet's usual seat. She's not here. So our first song to get us into the spirit tonight, since this is, depending on your tradition, we're either closing out Passover with the sundown, with the bringing in of Shabbat, or you might be observing an 8th day, and this is our last night of Passover. So I've got a few more Passover songs in the service for us tonight. So to start with, Ozi v'zimrat Yah, the Lord is my strength and my song and will become my salvation. These are words from Hallel in the Passover Haggadah, and also from the Song of the Sea that Miriam led the people in singing as they crossed from Egypt to freedom. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayehi li lishua. 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 And to welcome in the Shabbat, I'd like to call up the Wolf family and the Cantus, who I swear I just saw sneak in, but now I don't see them in the room. For our candle lighting and blessing on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'hadlik ner Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with commandments and commanded us to light Shabbat candles.
Amen. We continue on page 124. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. And may its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. On page 138 and 139, we welcome in the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we get to verse 9, I invite you, if you're able, to rise and face the door and imagine Shabbat as a bride, a physical embodiment of the Sabbath, coming in to join us in our sanctuary as she walks down the aisle when we say, Bo'ichala, enter, O bride, enter, O bride. You could bow to her. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Toreri, kiva orek uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Bo'wi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzola, toch emunei am segula. Bo'ichala, bo'ichala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please be seated. And now, excuse me, we have said our opening songs of praise to be here in this space, lit our Shabbat candles, and welcomed in the Sabbath bride. And we're ready to segue into our evening service with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'yomechon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, u'vizman kariv, ve'imeru amen. Yehesh meraba mevarach, me'alam ul'al me'amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitramam v'naseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei kudesha, b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, ve'imeru amen. Please rise for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu on page 146. You may be seated. On page 149, we all read together aloud in the English. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 150. On page 150, we come to the first slice of bread in our Shema love sandwich. So the Ahavat Olam is about God's never-ending love for us. Ahavat Olam. Sorry. Ahavat Olam. Beit Yisrael. Amcha ahavta. Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot. Chukim u'mishpatim. Otanu limadeta. Otanu limadeta. Haken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu uvkumenu na'asyach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam ba'ed ki hem chayenu be'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla negei yomam v'layla be'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olami Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael. The inside of our love sandwich is the Shema, our declaration that God is one. Whatever your conception of the Holy Spirit or the higher power is, it's the unifying force of all of us. If you are able, please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'hisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Please be seated. And the ve'ahavta that we just sang is the other slice of love bread in our sandwich, that the ve'ahavta is about our never-ending love for God. And the Shema and the ve'ahavta both come from the Torah, so we sing them together without the pause to explain each slice of the sandwich like I had at the beginning. On page 156, we read together, "All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from the tyrant's fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed their dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously." On page 158, as we sing the words that Miriam, Moses, and all of Israel sang together, lifting their voices joyously, because we are still, as the twilight is still with us, whichever practice you have for Passover, we are still in that time of liberation. So after we sing the first two verses of the Micha Mocha, we'll do a refrain of Miriam's song, which, if you're not familiar, is on one of the song sheets as well. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot oseh feleh, Norah tehilot oseh feleh. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam ba'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam ba'ed. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Praised is God for redeeming Israel. On page 161, we read together, "Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim." On page 162, we celebrate the Shabbat. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And now we have come to the core of our service, the tefillah, the prayer. Because we have now reached Passover, I want to note that on the second blessing on page 168, the words are changing from Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem to Morid Hatal, that God will cause rain dew, the summer precipitation that we want, as opposed to the winter precipitation. So we're praying for ecological steadiness, which as the Northeast continues to get blizzards in April, we could use some more of those prayers. So note that change. And if you are able, please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, lema'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham ve'azrat Sarah, atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol, atah rav lehoshia, morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, micha mocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yihallelu selah, baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We continue together on page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha v'yirah na'avod. And on page 174, we'll say an extra blessing for our final day of Passover. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this day of Pesach, be mindful of us and all your people, Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being. Visit us with blessing. Help us to a fuller life. Page 176. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, and for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Page 178. A prayer for peace. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ke'atahu melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take a moment now for silent prayer. You might use the words on pages 180 and 181 or the meditations of your own heart. Lefanecha We turn our thoughts now to those who are ill and in need of healing. We have on our Misha Berach list this week, Ricky Grant, Mary Kennedy, Edith and Norman King, Skip Brace, Denise Logan, Ruth Brenner, Ron Ely, John Corr, Rosalind Cantu, Peter Winkler, Karen Thompson, Deborah Sondak, Dean Atchley, Ivy Bells, Bernard Strassner, Rhonda Butler, Sharon Buell, Jean Walker, Gary Gentoff, Marion Finkel, Jennifer Goldberg Rosenbaum, David Deutsch, Louis Perlman, Lee McCoy, Eileen Milner, Mike Hogg, Bill Brooks, Ellen Simmons, Florence First, Brianna Campbell, Josiah Pendleton, Denise Smith, Bernard Levy, Lori Perry, Clara Breeding, and Rebecca Scarborough. And if anyone else has a name of someone they'd like to share at this time, please do so. Our prayer for healing, the Misha Berach, is on page 371 in the middle of the page. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We also pray for the health and safety of all those in our community who are active military duty, first responders, and peacekeepers, those around the world whose jobs are dangerous so that our lives might not be. On that list we have Oni Hinanen, Joshua Ehrlichman, Martin Brown, Richard Rubino, Howard Mergler, Kyle Smet, Andrew Booth, Joseph Cald, Daniel and Bridget Stambowski, many members of the Nemero family, Pete Abelson, Jeremy Sharkey, Benjamin Hurd, Alexander Furman, Daniel Gilman, Curtis Miller, Rob Apgar, Ben Farrell, and Caleb Menzies. And anyone in our virtual community, those on ships at sea who tune in occasionally to our services on the streaming. Though we don't know your names, we pray for your health and safety as well. May the one who blessed our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, bless those who are serving in our armed services. May God guard them and keep them from harm. If they find themselves in dangerous path, may God bring them back whole of mind and body to all those who love them. May it be your will, Adonai Tzevaot, to lead them to safety and to protect them from each and every enemy and ambush. May God make their journey successful, guard their going out and coming in with mercy and love, and let them be blessed to return home with life and peace now and forever. And let us say, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Chag Sameach for those who are still observing one more day of Pesach. The sun is now officially done, so in the Reform tradition, Passover's over, but we're a mixed community, so all traditions are embraced. Besides being the last night of Passover, it is the 7th day of the Omer. So the Omer counts the time between the leaving of Egypt, so we start counting on the 2nd night of Passover after liberation has just started, and it counts the 7 weeks until the Israelites reach Mount Sinai and receive the Torah, which we celebrate on Shavuot. So I'm going to say the blessing and count the Omer. If you'd like to follow along, it's on page 570. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with commandments and commands us regarding the counting of the Omer. Hayom shvi'it yom shehem shavua echad ba'omer. Today is 7 days, that is 1 week of the Omer. The mystical realm of this day of the Omer is Malchut Shebechesed, majesty within love. Jill Hammer assigns this day and this realm in her biblical women Omer calendar to the Shunammite woman of 2 Kings. She assists the prophet Elisha and insists she needs no reward or repayment, and yet still Elisha prays to God that she be given a son as honor due to her regal treatment of him. And so in time she does indeed bear a son, and he grows up, but one day, while he's still pretty young, he gets sunstroke and dies in her lap. She doesn't ask Elisha for anything more. She doesn't cry out in anger. She merely reminds him that she had insisted she didn't need anything. And now she has heartbreak. This story of a prophet is not the Haftarah for this week, our usual prophetic reading, but as I was reading from the 5 books of Miriam, a modern commentary offering imagined insight from the silent women of the biblical stories, I was reading it for the Reformed Torah reading for this week, and it struck a chord. So for those who observe an 8th day of Passover, many synagogues across the United States this week, this Shabbat is still a holiday reading. So they'll read from Deuteronomy, and their Haftarah will come from Isaiah. But for the Reform movement, as we have returned to the Torah-prescribed 7 days of Passover, the holiday concluded tonight at sundown, and Shabbat picks back up. The Shabbat readings pick up where we left off in the chronological Parshat HaShavua, the reading of the week. So Parshat Shmini is broken into 2 halves to be read this week and next, so we'll still be sort of on track with the rest of the Jewish world, or the rest of the American Jewish world next week. And in the first half, 2 of the sons of Aaron the high priest, Aaron, Moses' brother, 2 of his sons, Nadav and Avihu, bring an offering of strange fire to the newly constructed and finally finished tabernacle. They have been given very precise directions about the sacrifices to be made at this tabernacle, and they have watched their father, the high priest, do it just so. He's already sort of consecrated the altar, and we don't really know. They're overly passionate or they're hasty or whatever it is. They bring something that's not in that set of very specific rules. And so a fire of God bursts forth from the altar and consumes them. So the 5 books of Miriam wonders how their mother, Elisheva, felt. She's rarely mentioned at all throughout the Torah and is conspicuously absent from this story from this scene of their death and the ensuing scene in which Aaron and his 2 remaining sons are told by Moses not to grieve publicly. So the modern Midrash wonders, does this apply to Elisheva? She wonders aloud, is she allowed to mourn? And she decides she can't not mourn. She's not allowed to approach the altar anyway as a woman. So in the comfort of her own tent, she and all of the women of her tribe sing lamentations for her and with her. And she does not cry out in anger against God or Moses or pray for her sons to return to her. She behaves with the same majesty as the Shunammite woman. It is notable that this is Midrash, and we can never really know how Elisheva mourned. It's also notable that we do know how the Shunammite woman mourned her son, and yet we don't know her name or the name of the boy. Sometimes the information doled out in the text is just enough to elicit further questions, interpreting, deeper understanding. And this is why we are commanded throughout the days of Passover, every Shabbat, year after year, every holiday, to retell stories we think we know, to ask more questions, to interpret, to reach new understandings. The nameless Shunammite woman, by the way, is further honored when Elisha revives her son from the dead. But Nadav and Avihu remain dead. And we can never know why they were punished so harshly, just as we can never know for certain if there were maybe Egyptians among those who suffered the plagues that were in fact abolitionists. There's a lot of questions to be asked in our traditions and our texts. But we can ask those questions, we can learn more deeply, and we can honor our ancestors by living with the same measure of grace, majesty, and wisdom, even while we sit with the mysteries, as we see the women of these stories demonstrated. As we conclude our holiday, let us always hold room in our hearts and minds for nuance, remembering that there will always be mysteries to us. We can never be all-knowing, but we can always know more. And in that knowledge and wisdom, we can find a wellspring of hope and support from our tradition and faith. We cannot shield ourselves from the harshness of life, even the unintentional consequences of well-meaning actions can turn our worlds around. But we have the strength and merit to push forward, as Jews have always done for millennia. May we go forth with majesty in love and kindness. Amen, and Shabbat Shalom. And to celebrate that we are crossing the sea, we are leaving Passover behind, and we are approaching the season of Shavuot, we will sing Standing at the Sea, which is on one of your song sheets again. Standing at the sea, mi chamocha, standing at the sea, mi chamocha, standing at the sea, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Singing and dancing, mi chamocha, singing and dancing, mi chamocha, singing and dancing, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. They're coming up behind, mi chamocha, they're coming up behind, mi chamocha, they're coming up behind, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Bow no more, mi chamocha, bow no more, mi chamocha, bow no more, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. The sea she parts, mi chamocha, the sea she parts, mi chamocha, the sea she parts, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. Walking through the water, mi chamocha, walking through the water, mi chamocha, walking through the water, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. On the other side, mi chamocha, on the other side, mi chamocha, on the other side, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. One God, mi chamocha, one God, mi chamocha, one God, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. Standing at the sea, mi chamocha, standing at the sea, mi chamocha, standing at the sea, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Singing and dancing, mi chamocha, singing and dancing, mi chamocha, singing and dancing, mi chamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. We turn now toward our concluding prayers. On page 586, we find the Aleinu. I would like to call back up our Oneg families, the Wolves and the Cantus, to open the ark for us. If everyone else would please rise if you are able. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kugoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishbechot ha'adama, shelo samchakenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihye Adonai echad ushemo Ushemo echad. You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us in body, but remain with us in spirit. This week marks yahrzeit, anniversary of death, for Rosalie Klein, Charles Krynick, Morris Slater, Bertha Weisberg, Aryeh Lahan, and Lawrence Rittenberg. And since we didn't have Shabbat services last week, I'll just note that we would have marked the yahrzeits of Wayne Kavitsky, Philip Drucker, Leo Shapiro, Elizabeth Tobin, Lawrence Armand Grant, Kathleen Kavitsky, Martha Lazaroff, and Louis Friedman, and Lee Levin, Bernard Ash. We're still within the year of mourning for Amanda Chazen, Diane King, Alyssa Alhadef, Scott Beagle, Martin Duke Anguiano, Nicholas Dorrit, Aaron Feiss, Jamie Gutenberg, Chris Hickston, Luke Hoyer, Kara Loughran, Gina Montalto, Joaquin Oliver, Elena Petty, Meadow Pollack, Helena Ramsey, Alex Schachter, Carmen Schentrup, Peter Wang, Neil Gilman, Karen Josephson, Dorothy McQuiston, Nick Ralston, Elise Gibson, Norma Porter, Philip Brenner, Heather Heyer, Jackson Hunter, and Susan Anderson. If anyone else would like to share a name of someone they're thinking of at this time, please do so. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Mourners and those who wish to join them, please rise. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabah ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabah mivarach le'olam l'olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Hoseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Please be seated. Hoseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. At this time, I would like to call up our president, Jillian Perry, for some announcements.
Well, we're going to keep this relatively short. So, religious school, see some of you guys on Sunday. Welcome back. Break's over with. Let's see. Tot Shabbat will be coming up on April 13th coming up, yes. And starting at 6:30, where we'll be celebrating a little one's birthday. With cupcakes, I believe? Okay. I might be there for the birthday celebration. I need the cupcakes. Let's see, other than that, we've got April 20th, religious school will be participating in the service, and that's starting at 7, correct? So earlier service that day. The other three I'm going to let you announce because you can speak more on that. I just wanted to bring up, Amy's here, Colin, the musical, the ballet, sorry, Sun Marine Hero. We actually have a code to get a discount on tickets. This is a very personal story, not just for Amy, but also for the congregation, as this was a child of Ner Shalom. So it's very, it's developed, and I'm sure Amy can speak more on it if you want to ask her some questions. But when she first put the ballet together, it developed over each year, especially after 2014. So it's turned into every review I've heard has been fantastic, and I'm going to see it this year. So if you are active military or first responder, tickets are free, and actually retired military as well, you said. Just call the studio, and if you don't have that number, if you'd like that number, let me know. I have the number here. Also, the tickets are available on through the Hilton Center. Okay. And there's codes available through the e-kibitz, and I can give you the code information for the discounts, especially for Ner Shalom people. So I recommend everybody go and see this. It's moving. So, and lastly, I say this every week for you guys. Spring is here. I know it's deceiving when you look at the weather reports, but we'll be working on the outgrounds outside, and I know a lot of you are looking to get your summer bodies together, and working on the grounds are a great way to do that. So if you'd like to come and help me sand or pick up sticks and stuff and clean the property, let me know. We'll add you to the Facebook page, and you can come out and have fun with me on a weekend. So, Shabbat Shalom.
So, tonight was the first night of a monthly sing-along I'm trying to get going. It was just me here by myself with my ukulele, but the next date is May 11th at 6:30. I know it's early if you're coming from work, but if you are able to get here before services, this is a great opportunity for us to share the tunes that we know, so I know what else you know. You can learn some more music with me outside of the service when you're trying to be in a more spiritual setting and the new tunes might throw you off. And that way I can get more feedback on what will make the service more musically dynamic. Because if you tell me right after the service while we're noshing at Oneg, I'm not going to remember. If we do it in that setting, it'll sink in better. So please come May 11th, 6:30. On April 21st, we're having an interfaith panel here on the Abrahamic perspectives of environmental stewardship. It's being sponsored by the Rumi Forum. I will be representing the Jewish faith, obviously. Taliba from Dar al-Noor will be representing the Muslim perspective, and Reverend Lisa from Manassas Presbyterian Church will be representing a Christian perspective. So it should be a really fun night. It starts at 5 with a reception, and then 5:30 to 6:30 will be the panel. So please come out for that. This Sunday, Ner Shalom is an official co-sponsor for the Northern Virginia Holocaust commemoration event happening at the Northern Virginia Jewish Community Center in Fairfax. The events start at 4:30 with teen programming, and then it goes on throughout the night with different events, different speakers. So if you can stop by from any of that time, I think 6:30 is when the more adult programming starts, and then there will be a little service, and it should be a moving night. So come by if you're able. One last thing, it's not on your announcement sheet yet, but please also save your date. May 19th is Shavuot. More details will be coming soon, but we will have a celebration here. A lot of our holidays this year have been on a Wednesday night, and we've been trying to stick to celebrating the holidays on their holidays, which is not always easy on a Wednesday night. This one is on a Saturday night. There's no excuse to not come unless you're at a ballet that night, because I know that's the same weekend as Colin's show. But if you get to go on Friday night or Sunday afternoon to the ballet, join us Saturday night for what's sure to be a really fun Tikkun Leil Shavuot, May 19th. Okay, any other announcements? Did I miss anything, sisterhood? Okay.
You know that I'll be joining you on Tuesday at the Richmond County Board.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I don't think that's more than that.
Yeah, that's like at 2 p.m. I don't know if anyone's going to come to the Board of Supervisors meeting at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, but, you know, that's happening. Okay. All right. Our closing song then. Oh, I do want to make one other announcement about Oneg before we go out. So because of our differences in practice here at Ner Shalom, the center table, I believe, is set for kosher for Passover Oneg. I'll say the motzi over the matzah tonight. But if you're ready to break your chametz fast, there's challah and cookies and stuff on the table closer to the wall. So our closing song is Olam Chesed, to close out this first week of the Omer, which is in its mystical realm, the week of Chesed, the week of love. So it's on one of the song sheets if you'd like to sing along. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai. 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 We will build this world with love, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai. We will build this world with love, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai. And if we build this world on love, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai, then God will build this world with love, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai Dai, Yadadai Dai. Please join us for Oneg and Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.